Hello everybody, myself with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about Mario, about the funny plumber man, because yesterday we got the Mario Direct thing that Nintendo just decided to shadow drop on us randomly out of the blue, with tons of big crazy announcements, the biggest of which was the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy in one package. And this has been a long time coming. This has been a rumor for a very long time, and then we were just waiting on it to get officially announced. And towards the end of waiting, because we've been knowing about this rumor for so long, people were starting to be like, I don't know if it's real anymore. And then Nintendo, of course, pulls the rug out right under us, and it's like, actually it is real. You guys are dummies. Now, I am, like most other people, very excited about this release. I've been looking forward to trying these games out for a very long time, and this collection's a good way to do that. But there's also been a bit of discourse around this. I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff because it kind of gets blown over after a while. Like the Mario Maker 2 no online with friends thing, that kind of got taken care of even though people blew up about it for so long. And like the Pokemon no national dex thing, that kind of became not a big deal. The game still sold really well. So I don't really usually like talking about this kind of stuff because it often gets blown way out of proportion, and the game is usually fine. But I've just been particularly irked by some of the comments about this release, because I feel like a lot of people are comparing apples to oranges with how they're talking about this 3D Mario collection compared to like some remakes, some other collections, and I just kind of wanted to talk about that because honestly, if I tried replying to every single person I've seen on Twitter trying to compare this game to the Crash or the Spyro remake, it'd be a lot. So yeah, this is just going to be me talking about some of these like talking points that I see a lot of people bringing up, and just kind of going over why I think they're just a little bit dumb. The first comment that I saw pretty much immediately after the Direct showed up and people were talking about all this news was, why don't you just emulate the games? These are old games that you can run on pretty much anything, so why not emulate it? And I feel like that kind of misses the point. While emulation is incredibly cool, and it's very useful and, very helpful in game preservation, having these official releases is just sort of a nicer way to experience these games. Obviously, you could just download Dolphin and play all these games through an emulator, but you don't really get the same experience. You have to be tethered to your computer, and you have to use like an Xbox controller or whatever PC controller that you use, and you just don't get that same feeling. Another major reason you might want to pick up the game on the Switch rather than just emulate it is because the Switch is portable, and while I know that you can emulate some of these through Android, it's not the same with touch controls, you know what I mean? Like, you want to have the full control setup, you're actually hitting buttons, you actually got a real analog stick. And unless you like bring a controller with you, or you got one of those weird grip things for your phone, it really is not the same trying to play on a cell phone. I'll be honest, this is kind of like my weakest point, because you really could just emulate all these games, and I'm kind of going off the, it feels better to play it on like an official hardware thing, which is more of my preference. In my experience, every single time I've tried playing a game in an emulator, I'll play it for like 15 minutes and I'll be like, this is great. I would really rather play it on the official hardware though. That's why I got a Game Boy Advance, that was modded, to be better, because I was playing all these Game Boy games on my laptop, and I was like, these are fun, but I don't get the same experience that I do actually having the device in my hands. This next point is one that I've seen quite a bit on Twitter, and it's just, I don't really get it. It seems like such like an apples to oranges comparison, and that is comparing the Crash remakes to the Mario 3D collection. So the Crash remakes were the original 3 Crash games on PS1, remade to be all HD and fancy with new graphics and stuff, whereas the Mario remasters are just the 3 same Mario games that didn't really like tweak them or anything. just ported to the Switch, now in HD. Another big difference between these games is that the Crash remakes launched at $40, whereas the Mario remakes are going to launch at $60. Now, many people saw that and was like, this is kind of bullshit, because, you know, you're remaking the entire game. Not only the entire game, you're remaking 3 games and putting them all out at a cheaper price than these guys who are just taking the same games, upscaling them, and putting them on the Switch. It sounds like a fair argument at first, but you gotta understand that first, the original 3 Crash games were all on the PS1, all use like the same engine, the same assets, everything. They were very similar games. Whereas the collection you're getting with Mario, you're getting Mario 64, you're getting Mario Sunshine, and you're getting Galaxy. That is a 64 game, a GameCube game, and a Wii game, all in the same collection. Trying to remake those would be a very different experience to remaking Crash 1, 2, and 3, because Crash 1, 2, and 3 were all very similar games, whereas the differences between 64 and Galaxy are numerous. There are a lot of differences in those games because they came out at such different times. They use different engines, assets, everything. They are very, very different games. Remaking those would be a monumental task, each alone, and they certainly would not be in a collection. Those would definitely be standalone releases. As for the price, you gotta understand that Crash and Mario are at completely different levels. The Crash remake had to revitalize a dead franchise. It had to bring Crash Bandicoot from the grave to, modern times and make him alive again, and make it an actual series people care about again. Whereas Mario has always been consistent. There have always been Mario games, and they've always been well-known and well-renowned. That's why the Crash remakes had to be set at $40. It was a more affordable, more attractive price to newcomers who have not played Crash before. Whereas if they released it at $60, I don't know if as many people would have taken a chance on it because it was a full-price game in a series that they don't know much about. Mario, on the other hand, is a very safe bet. You know what you're getting into with a Mario game, and especially with titles as big as 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, critically acclaimed titles all around, you know you're getting something good. I will admit that this collection probably should be $40, but in the case of Mario, it's kind of an exception just because it's Mario. Literally the king of video games. Like, there is not a single other series I could see putting out a collection of like such old games, releasing it at 60 and being okay with it. But because it's Mario, I feel like a lot more people are willing to be like, yeah, alright. And while some people may think that's kind of bull, I mean, it's Mario, so to me it seems fair. Like, it's Mario. What are you gonna do about it? And speaking of price, one thing that I've heard a lot of people say is that they don't think it is worth the $60 that they're asking for. And that's totally fine. Value is subjective, so obviously, while someone like me might think that the Mario collection at $60 is a steal and is a very good value, someone who's maybe not as into Mario or has played these games before and, has had their Mario fill, they might not see it as worthwhile, and that's also totally fine. I have not played any of these games before. I have not touched 64. I have not touched Sunshine. And I think I played Galaxy once at like a friend's house, but that's it. I really have not played these games at all. So getting all 3 in a collection for the Switch, my favorite console, is a really good deal. However, if this was something like Pikmin or a series that I'm just not as into, yeah, I probably would not want to get it at $60 at least. However, if you're a Pikmin fan and you really love the series, paying $60 to get all 3 titles in a collection, that sounds pretty nice. I'm sure we all have that one series that we just have a soft spot for, and even if they robbed us blind, we'd still thank them for it. And for a lot of people, that seems to be Mario, at least according to Amazon, because, oh boy, this game's already doing numbers. The price and value of this collection isn't the only thing people are discussing and angry about. It's also a peculiar marketing decision. I don't really know what to call this, but it is strange. In the tweet for the trailer of this game, Nintendo said it is arriving 9/18 as a limited release until the end of March 2021. That means that the game will not be available after March, not just physically, but digitally too. You can still re-download it, like if you download the game and then you delete it, you can go back and reinstall it later. But if you're trying to buy a new copy of the game after March, you can't. This is incredibly dumb for a whole multitude of reasons, but I feel like I should first explain why Nintendo's doing this. If we line up the calendars and we check all the dates, you can see that March is the end of the first fiscal quarter for Nintendo, before they have to go talk to investors about how their sales are doing. That also happens to be the same time that the Mario collection stops production. It seems like they want to boost their sales before they have to go talk to investors about how they're doing financially, so they decided to put this collection out as a limited release, so people get really anxious and like want to go out and get a Switch before, you can't find this game anymore. It's pretty obvious why this is bad for consumers. It puts the game on a time limit, so you have, a certain amount of time to get the game, and if you don't get it within that time, you're probably going to have to find resellers who are selling it at a much marked up price. Now, granted, you do get quite a bit of time. I think it's about 6 months before this game is taken away. But thinking long term, the Switch still has about 3 years left in its life. I can imagine some kid getting the Switch late next year or something, and they're really excited to play all these games, and they've heard about this Mario 3D collection, and then they find out that they've stopped producing them for some reason, and that you can't get it digitally anymore, and you just won't be able to play that game. This is also really dumb for Nintendo as a company, because while yes, having a limited release does boost the sales at the beginning, and you get, a lot more people interested in the game just because, oh, it's limited, so I have to go pick it up. Having it as a standard, normal release would just add to the Switch's incredible library of games. It would be another huge title, a must-have, an evergreen title that would boost sales for the rest of the Switch's life. It would continue selling for as long as the Switch continues. You would get more overall sales if you left it alone as a normal release instead of trying to rush people to buy it all at once. There could even be a great marketing push, posing the Switch as the sort of ultimate Mario playing machine, where you have Mario 1, 2, 3, The Lost Levels, World, 64, Sunshine, Galaxy, 3D World, Odyssey, plus a ton of spin-offs. In fact, it does seem like they are doing that. There was an ad yesterday from Nintendo that I saw where they were showing off just how many Mario games there are on Switch. However, now they have to put a little asterisk right up next to the whole, we have every Mario game, because we have every Mario game for now, until March 31st of 2021. Then you're gonna have to take away 3 of those, the 3 most popular ones, because, timed limited exclusivity for no reason. But yeah, those are just kind of my thoughts on this whole Mario 3D collection situation, with people kind of trashing on the game, and the limited time exclusivity thing, which is so dumb. I know I might come off as a little bit of a fanboy trying to defend Nintendo with all my honor here. Honestly, if you don't like the game, if you don't think it's worth the value, I completely understand. It's just, to me, as someone who's never played it, never played any of the games in this collection, it seems like a great value, and it seems just weird and wrong to kind of compare it to the Crash collection and the Spyro collection that are all really similar games in those collections, which is why it was easier to remake them. I don't know, it's just been kind of weighing on my mind, and it's I wish I could just say this to everyone I want to hear what I have to say, so I did, in video format. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and let me know what you think about the Mario 3D collection. What you think about the timed exclusivity, or if you think it's a good value or not, let me know. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all later. Peace.